Bonjour, bienvenue dans votre premier voyage à Paris.
Welcome to Mojo Travels, and today we're discussing why airport lounges are worth it and how to get in.
Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Mojo Travels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at the many advantages of airport lounges and ways to access them if you determine they are worth your while.
The moment you walk through the door, it's clear this is no ordinary check-in facility.
Tell us if this sounds familiar. You get to the airport extra early, or you have a 3-hour layover between connecting flights, or maybe you arrive at the gate just in the nick of time, only to find out that the flight has been delayed indefinitely. It's a drag, but no problem. There are plenty of ways to keep yourself occupied until takeoff. You can grab a bite at that Panera Bread, get a latte at one of a million coffee shops, browse the bookstore for something to read, or buy a tacky souvenir at the gift shop. Then, before you know it, you've explored the whole terminal and only about 30 minutes have passed. So, then what? Find a seat by the gate where you can read a magazine, play a Nintendo Switch, or get some work done on your iPad? That would be simple enough if there weren't so many other travellers trying to do the exact same thing. You'll be lucky to find one seat jammed between two other travellers who are just as frustrated as you. If you're travelling with a companion or large family, locating a cluster of vacant seats can be like searching for lost baggage. Even if you do find a place to sit, your seat might not have an outlet, meaning your electronics will run out of juice way before boarding. And unless you're sleeping on the plane, you'll want to preserve battery life. How about reading that book or magazine you just bought? That could keep you busy without wasting batteries. Well, it might if there wasn't so much commotion throughout the terminal, making it next to impossible to concentrate. You might breathe a sigh of relief when boarding finally begins, only to realise you've traded one crowded, uncomfortable space for another, except this one is 30,000 feet off the ground. Flying can be stressful enough. Between sluggishly moving through endless security checks and getting on the overstuffed plane, you really do need to unwind and collect yourself, and there's no better place to do this than at an airport lounge. Now, we know what some of you are thinking. Aren't airport lounges just for the wealthy or business travellers, like, say, first classes? True, there are some highly exclusive lounges like Air France Le Premier, which will set you back big bucks, but many lounges are surprisingly easy to access, even if you're on a relative budget. Before we discuss how to get in, let's explore why you should get in. You may tell yourself that waiting in a lounge is only slightly better than hanging around the terminal. It is night and day, however, with, to keep the analogy going, the lounge being the sunniest day possible. Have a school paper or business proposal you need to finish before arriving at your destination? Your brain will be infinitely clearer typing while nested in a cushy chair or spacious sofa with classical music playing in the background. Some lounges supply printers in case you need a physical copy as well. And it's much easier finding an outlet to plug in your devices and accessing quality Wi-Fi. Perhaps you're on your way to an important meeting and got sweaty on that last flight. Some lounges, especially the international ones, offer showers to rinse away that airport stress. You can even sleep off the previous flight if the lounge provides beds or resting capsules. It's actually not much different than booking a hotel room, but just for a few hours. Hey, just don't get too comfortable because you might lose track of time and miss your flight. Airport lounges aren't just for those flying solo. They can be an intimate spot for those travelling with their significant other, complete with the airport's most romantic view. Kick back with 2 glasses of champagne, or a whole meal if there's time. You may even make a new friend sitting at the full-service bar. In many cases, the food and drinks provided are complimentary, meaning you won't have to pay, like, $15 for a coffee out in the hurly-burly. There are numerous activities to help pass the time. While it varies from lounge to lounge, games rooms, libraries, and even spas aren't uncommon. You might be able to book a private room for a little alone time. But what if you're travelling with a big family? Surely the airport lounge is no place for rugrats, right? Well, it should go without saying that if you let your kids treat the lounge like their personal jungle gym, the peaceful ambience so many have strived for will be absolutely destroyed. So make sure your children are on their best behaviour. If they want to watch a movie on an iPad, they'll need headphones. It's alright if they want to look around the lounge, but you should accompany them. For small children who recently learned how to walk, it might be best to get a family-friendly room. Thankfully, various lounges take kids into consideration, with areas that have TVs, video games, books, and more. A lounge may seem like an unusual place to bring a baby, but it's easier rocking them to sleep in a quiet area than a bustling terminal. It's also more private if you need to breastfeed. So, airport lounges can be a dream come true for all ages, but how do you gain entrance? Chances are, if you show up on a whim without doing any research, you're not getting past the red velvet rope or gold door. For first timers who don't travel that much, get your feet wet with a day pass. You can book it ahead of time or acquire one at the desk with your boarding pass on hand. It likely costs less than $100 per person, and children under a certain age might get in free. Considering that most of the perks are included, you'll not only get your money's worth, but you might even break even. After you've experienced a lounge once, you may make a tradition of buying a day pass for every vacation as an affordable luxury. This will also encourage you to arrive at the airport ahead of schedule, guaranteeing you don't miss your flight. If you travel frequently, be it for work or pleasure, that's all the more reason to take advantage of airport lounges. For those who essentially live up in the air with endless travel, the lounge can be like a home away from home. Of course, the fees are going to add up if you buy a day pass for every trip. There are far more cost-effective alternatives. If you're going to be flying on a regular basis, you might as well purchase a membership, which can go for a few $100 or equivalent reward points annually. Like TSA PreCheck though, it's a worthwhile investment you won't regret in the long run. Plus, if you're traveling with someone, your membership sometimes may get them in free of charge. Just tell them it's an early birthday present, spare yourself the trouble of buying them a gift later. Accessing the lounge may cost you absolutely nothing extra. It's often part of the package for first and business class flyers. If you're traveling economy, it's worth looking into Priority Pass. For nearly 3 decades, this private program has been selling access to airport lounges around the world at reasonable prices. Your local airport's lounge might not be part of their program, but if it is, this is close to a no-brainer. You also might consider applying for a travel credit card, preferably one with no annual fees. If there are fees attached, miles and loyalty points add up over time for frequent flyers. Best of all, admission to certain airport lounges can be part of the deal. Active duty members of the military also could be eligible for free entry along with guests. Just show them your military ID. We often think of airport lounges as exclusive country clubs or secret societies reserved only for the elite. That's probably one of the reasons they're never as jam-packed as the terminal. With the proper planning though, and a willingness to spend a little to get a lot, entering an airport lounge can be more convenient than booking your plane tickets. Not only does it provide a calm before the storm, but it may change how you perceive travel. People can be hesitant to travel for a variety of reasons, with the hassle at the airport being towards the top. When a lounge is at your disposal, however, you could suddenly find yourself even looking forward to going to the airport. It's a way to reward yourself for getting to the airport early and patiently waiting in multiple lines. The only difficult part is leaving the lounge when it's time to board. Upon landing though, there could just be another luxurious lounge waiting for you around the corner.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Mojo Travels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.